Hey everybody, John Voorhees from MacStories.net here. I've got a first look at the Aqara Hub G5 Pro HomeKit camera for you today. The camera comes in two versions. There's a Wi-Fi version and power over Ethernet. I've got the Wi-Fi version here. It's a 4 megapixel camera. And I'm using Wi-Fi because I don't have Ethernet running to my front door. But before we get into how using this has gone, let's dig into some specs. This camera shoots 1520p with 133-degree field of view, and it supports color night vision. It's got a large aperture of f1.0 and a 1 1/8 inch large image sensor that makes it great for low light performance. And it even has a built-in spotlight, which is this thing right here. The camera has AI that can detect things like faces, pets, and packages too. And as you can see, it's kind of a bulky thing that sits on a base that you can extend. It kind of levers up like that, and it swivels, which is really nice. Nice stiff hinge too. For those of you who like to keep your recordings local, the G5 Pro has onboard eMMC memory, and it can be connected to a NAS for expanded storage capacity. The camera also supports HomeKit Secure Video and Amazon Alexa, plus it integrates with Google Home. The G5 Pro also has IPv65 water resistance, so it works well outdoors. Mine's going to be in a slightly covered area around my front door, and it serves as an Aqara hub to extend Zigbee compatible devices outdoors. All right, let's get this thing installed and see how it works in real life.
All right, I'm back. I recorded the last segment a while ago when I first got the Aqara Hub camera. It's the G5 Pro, and I've been using it for a couple of weeks at least now, and I've really enjoyed it. I'm going to show you some video of it hanging on the wall outside my house. Not incredibly exciting to look at, but it's hanging up there right about at the top of the door frame where it can get a good view of the front walk as well as the sidewalk that runs in front of my house and the street. And this camera has been amazing. The first thing I did was I really screwed up. I put it up. I didn't bother to put it up with the screws that were packed in, of course. I used some really sticky tape, and of course that fell down after a few days. But you know what? The Aqara G5 Pro took the licking and kept on ticking. I mean, it had a little scratch on it, but that was it. It worked totally fine. I picked it up, dusted it off, mounted it with the screws like I should have done in the first place, and it's been working perfectly ever since. And there are a few things that are worth noting about this. I'm primarily a HomeKit person. I like using the Home app. I like having everything in there, and this camera is great for that because it supports HomeKit. It also supports Apple's Secure Home Video. What that means is that when it records something, it doesn't record continuously, but when it detects a person, an animal, whatever you set it up for in the settings, it will record and it will save that to your iCloud account if you have an iCloud Plus account. And it doesn't count against your storage. So it's just kind of like bonus storage in that sense. And I really like that because you can go into the camera right in the Home app, which I'm going to show off in a little bit, and you can just scrub through the timeline and see the activity that happened outside your house or wherever your camera happens to be pointed. So that's a really big benefit to me. That and the fact that it has incredible, tremendous low light performance. I've never really seen a camera this good in terms of low light performance of this type. It's an outdoor camera. It records in 1520p, and it really picks up colors in a way that few cameras ever do at nighttime. Now, this is true whether I have the light on the front of my house turned on or off. Either way, it's totally fine. There's a little street light too down the street that's illuminating my neighborhood, but it's just, it's quite a ways away, and that dim light is more than enough to pick up detail in people walking by as well as colors. So really tremendous there as well. But it has a whole lot of other bells and whistles, and some of these aren't relevant to my setup, but you might want to have them because, for instance, this camera is an Aqara hub, so it will work with other Aqara products. It has a Zigbee and Thread baked into it, and it is Matter compatible as well. That means you can use this with Amazon Alexa, Google Home, a whole host of other services, Home Assistant, for instance, if you want, or Homey, which is another thing similar to Home Assistant as well. So there's a lot of options in terms of extensibility. Plus, Aqara has built-in automation in its app and a lot of other things going on there. Oh, and you know what? You can record not just to the internal storage of the camera. There's like just under 7 gigabytes of storage on the camera itself, but as in addition to doing things like I explained with Home Secure Video, you can also record to a NAS if you have one of those. And there is a streaming protocol baked in, so you can stream over the internet to another device or a server or whatever. I haven't really ever done that myself, but hey, it's an option. So it's really nice in that way. And by being a hub, an Aqara hub that sits on the outside of your home, what this does is it effectively extends your network beyond the four walls of your house, which is really nice if you're using something like an Aqara door lock or window and door sensors, whether it's from them or something else that is Matter compatible. It does a lot there that really works well with extending and creating a signal that doesn't let those things drop off your network as much as they might otherwise do if there wasn't a hub sitting there right on the outside of your house. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's take a quick look at the software too. All right, let's take a look at the software. I'm going to start with the Home app. I'm going to drop right into the camera view itself. Hear that? The microphones on this are quite good. You can hear the birds outside chirping. There's a horizontal view that you can see a car going by. I'm going to mute that so we don't have to listen to the traffic or the birds. But what you can do is you can see that I can just scrub back through here, and you can see, oh, there I was taking a picture of the camera itself. Scrub through, see people walking past the house, everything like that. And then you can watch again as we come and go all day long. So that's the Home app, and that's really what I use 99% of the time. I think it's really good. Aqara, though, you can go into their app and you can see that you can see the same view. You can do the same thing. You can go full screen if you want horizontally, or you can. Let me go back into that. Didn't mean to close the app entirely, but you have all these different toggles here. You have an album to show you screenshots that you take of video, and you can save your video here if you want. I can take a screenshot just like that. See, it took a little screenshot of my front walk there. You can talk to people with a little telephone icon there. And down here, you can do things like face recognition, vehicle recognition. Don't really need that at my front door. That would be more useful maybe by a garage or something like that. There's package detection. A lot of this stuff that I have turned off because it's not blue here is because I'm not using those things when I'm using the HomeKit, because Apple's got that built into the Home app, so I don't really need that at all. You can see there's humidity detection, lingerer detection. Usually that's somebody whose dog has paused to use the grass outside as a bathroom. There's AI sound detection. Turned that one off because it thought that tires on a wet road was crying, and that was really driving me bananas on a day that was really rainy. And that's about it. I don't use a lot of this stuff in here, to be honest. It's just not an app that I like that much, and I don't find that it offers much beyond what I would want from the Home app. But you can also, there's some settings here. You can update the firmware. There's been like one firmware update since I've had the camera. You can deal with the Matter controller settings and expose it and all that stuff. So to wrap up, what I really like about the Aqara G5 Pro camera is its flexibility. It's great as a HomeKit accessory if you want to use Home Secure Video or other features of the Home app that Apple makes. But you can also do a lot more if you use Aqara's app, because it has additional features that Home does not support. It also works with an awful lot of ecosystems that go beyond what Apple does. So, you've got Matter, so you can use Alexa and Google and everything. So it's a flexibility combined with the quality of the camera itself, the hardware being high resolution, great low light performance, and it never has dropped off my network. So being outside, that is a concern. And I'm really happy to report that it has been absolutely perfect, which I love. So that's it for today. If you want to learn more about the Aqara G5 Pro camera, be sure to go to macstories.net. I've got a full written review there with pictures and more details on what it can do and some of my thoughts on it. And, subscribe here on the channel because I'm going to be doing a lot more of these hardware reviews in the future. That's it for now. I'll talk to you later.